Hello students, my name is Dr. Priya Mahajan. I am from Department of Commerce, Uttarakhand Open University. And today we have a session on planning and assessment of feasibility for launching successful startup. So first let's understand what is feasibility planning. A feasibility plan is a rough draft of a business plan that helps new entrepreneurs to determine if their business idea is viable. It helps entrepreneurs to make informed decisions about starting a business by assessing the cost, activities, risk, and potential revenue and profits. A feasibility plan is conducted before a business plan, which is more detailed plan that provides a roadmap for creating and developing the business. A feasibility plan should include information about the product, services, markets, and founders. It should also include a non-disclosure statement to protect the entrepreneur's ideas. A feasibility plan should be based on well-supported information and should be easy to read, complete, and accurate. Feasibility planning is very important step in launching a successful startup because it helps entrepreneurs in systematically assess whether their business idea is viable and worth pursuing. Now we will discuss in detail that why feasibility planning matters. So first one is it identify opportunities and challenges. Feasibility studies help in identify target customers, market demand, and gaps in existing solutions. Also, the identification of technical, financial, or operational challenges enables an entrepreneur to plan effectively. Then it reduces risk. A feasibility plan minimizes the risk of failure by ensuring decisions are based on data and analysis rather than assumptions. It also helps to anticipate and address obstacles before they become critical issues. Then it guides resource allocation. Feasibility planning guides in efficient use of resources. It directs time, money, and effort toward ideas with higher chances of success. It guides in financial requirements for development and operation. Next is it enhances investor confidence. A feasibility planning gives confidence to investors and stakeholders that your idea is well thought out and backed by evidence, and thus it increases the likelihood of securing investment. Then it improves strategic focus. Feasibility planning helps an entrepreneur to define the business goals and priorities, and thus provides a structured approach to bring the business idea to life. It increases success probability. A well-conducted feasibility study ensures the product or service are according to customers' needs and requirement. It lays the foundation for long-term business sustainability and scalability. So a feasibility planning isn't just a step in the startup journey, it's a critical foundation that turns a great idea into a thriving business. Next are the key components of feasibility assessment. A feasibility assessment, also known as feasibility study or feasibility analysis, is a structured approach to determine whether a business idea is practical and has a good chance of success. Here, now we will discuss the main components that ensure a comprehensive evaluation. So the first component is market analysis. Launching a successful startup requires a complete market analysis to understand the industry, identify opportunities, and mitigate risk. So the comprehensive market analysis include find growth rates, size, and key players in the industry. It also identifies factors driving change such as technology, regulations, or consumer preferences. Further, assessing challenges like high capital requirements, regulations, or competition. Then there is a technical feasibility. Technical feasibility is a critical aspect of launching a successful startup. It assesses whether the technology required to develop and deliver your product or service is achievable within your constraints of time, cost, and expertise. Also, estimate cost for software development, hardware acquisition, testing, and debugging. Then there is a financial feasibility. Financial feasibility evaluates whether a startup can achieve its business goal with the available financial resources while generating sustainable profits. Entrepreneur estimates the cost, like one-time cost, which include expenses of legal fees, licenses, permits, branding, website development, and initial equipment or inventory. Also, estimate the fixed cost, variable cost, and contingency funds. It helps entrepreneurs to identify primary and secondary sources of income, determine capital needs by identifying how much funding is required to launch and sustain operation until reaching profitability. Funding sources available are entrepreneur personal savings, loan from family, friends and bank, angel investors or venture capital, crowdfunding or government grants. Then organizational feasibility. Organizational feasibility evaluates whether the startup has the right structure, resources, and human capital to execute its business plan effectively. It assesses the skills, qualifications, and experience of the founders and core team. It basically focuses on the internal capacity to deliver the product or service successfully and analyze whether the team has expertise to run the business. Then comes the legal feasibility. Legal feasibility assesses whether a business idea complies with applicable laws, regulations, and legal requirements. It ensures that a startup can operate without facing legal obstacles that might hinder its success. So, overall, feasibility assessment provides a comprehensive evaluation of a business idea's viability, culminating in a well informed go or no go decisions. It refines the business model, identifies risk and mitigation strategies, and offer financial projections including profitability, break-even points, and funding needs. The assessment also delivers critical market insights such as customer preferences, market demand, and competitive positioning, while outlining a strategic roadmap for execution, resource allocation, and scalability. By addressing legal compliance and sustainability, it ensures long-term feasibility. Next are the steps to conduct a feasibility study. A feasibility study is a detailed assessment of a new business idea to determine if it will be viable. It helps a business to address its competition, possible hurdles, and the fund needed to start. So now we will discuss the steps of feasibility study. So the first step is define the business idea. Clearly articulate the purpose, goals, and scope of the project. Identify the problem you aim to solve and value your solution providers. Then second step is to conduct market research. The power of market research lies in knowing what it takes for your business to be the best in the market. To conduct market research for a startup, you can follow these steps. So first one is define your target markets. So identify the people who are most likely to use your product or service. You can create a customer persona to represent your ideal buyer. Then choose your research methods. You can use surveys, focus groups, and market research reports to collect data. Then conduct your research, recruit appropriate research subjects, and gather feedback. Then analyze your results. Use the data to understand your potential customers and make informed decisions. Create a report. Write a report that summarizes your findings and present your recommendation. And in last, monitor and analyze market trends. As your business grows, keep an eye on market trends and adjust your marketing strategies accordingly. So, market research is important for startups because it helps them assess the viability of their concept. It helps them understand market demand and competition and uncover potential obstacles. Then third step is analyze competitors. Startups analyze competitors to gain insight into their products, services, and marketing strategies. This process known as competitor analysis, and it can help startups to identify strength and weakness. So by comparing your startup's products, services and brand to your competitors, you can identify areas where you can improve and also predict customer perception. Understand how your customers will perceive your product compared to your competitor's product. Identify opportunities. Find gaps in the market and opportunities for innovation. Identify your unique selling proposition, USP. So understand what makes your business unique and different from your competitors, and predict competitors' reaction. Understand how your competitors might react when you enter the market. So identify competitors and determines what your business apart and how to capitalize on it. Then next step is develop financial model. Here are the typical components of a startup financial model. So first is revenue projection, estimate of future sales based on market research, historical data and growth assumptions. Then cost projections, prediction of fixed cost and variable cost including salaries, rent, marketing expenses and production cost. Then break-even analysis, determine when the startup will start making in profit. The three financial statements an entrepreneur to keep in mind. The first one is cash flow statement. Your cash flow statement shows how cash moves in and out of the business, important for understanding liquidity and ensuring the startup does not run out of money. Then income statement, which is also known as profit and loss account. So the income statement on profit and loss statement shows the company's profitability by subtracting expenses from revenues. Then comes the balance sheet. Your balance sheet provides a snapshot of the company's assets, liability and equity at a specific time. These projections are based on researched assumptions and provide estimate of the venture's future financial performance. Next step is to evaluate operational needs. An operational feasibility study assesses an organization's ability to complete a project and whether the post plan fits with the organization's existing environment. The study considers a variety of factors including staffing, whether the organization has the necessary staff to complete the project, then organizational structure, how the organizational structure will affect the project, legal requirements, whether the project adheres to all relevant legal requirements or legal conditions, processes, how the project will fit within the organization's existing processes, then leadership, how the organization's leadership will support the project, end users, how end user will feel about their role in the project and whether they will use the system. And the last step is risk assessment. Startups assess risk by conducting a risk assessment to identify potential threats and develop strategies to mitigate them. Here are some things to consider when assessing risk. So what are the risks? Identify the possible threats and the situations in which they could occur. Then what are the consequences? Consider what could happen if the risk occur. How likely are the consequences? Estimate how likely the consequences are to happen. Is the risk managed well? Determine if the risk is well managed or need to be addressed, and rank the probability. After identifying the risk, rank the probability of each one. So these are the steps to feasibility study. A feasibility study is an in-depth analysis that helps determine the likelihood of a project success. A well-prepared feasibility report can help decide whether to invest in a business, startup or product launch. This is it for this session. In the next session, we will discuss some of the challenges faced by the entrepreneurs during the feasibility study, and also we will discuss the case study of Zomato. So till the next session, bye and happy learning.